Hello everyone. So in this series of short videos, I'm going to walk you through a feature of LangChain, of the LangChain framework, which is called tool calling. So LangChain is basically a framework that's available for Python and JavaScript that allows you to build software systems that leverage the power of large language models. I have two videos that I'm going to share, which you can watch and learn a little bit more about LangChain. So I will be sharing this in the description below if you want to learn more about LangChain. I'm going to be using the LangChain in JavaScript. LangChain is also available for Python, and I'm going to be walking you through the tool calling feature. So let me go through some of the concepts. The important thing here to remember is that on a very basic level, LLMs such as ChatGPT have this kind of like very simple setup. So there's an LLM that you can either download and use locally, or you can use through an API or maybe through an interface like ChatGPT. And basically what they do is they can accept some kind of input, usually text, and they can respond back with some text. So this is pretty useful, but as software developers, we want to be using LLMs in a way that provides more capabilities. For example, we can use an LLM as an API, so we can code something that makes a request to an LLM, and we get back a response and we use it in our application. Now, if you use LangChain, you can actually have this into your application. You can write your code, and you can very easily integrate one or more LLMs into your software. And what tool calling allows you to do is you can go from this basic setup where you have an LLM as an input-output interface. You can make use of certain tools, that is functions. Basically, you can have the LLM get a question. In here you can see I'm asking the LLM what's 40 plus 2. Basically you can ask any question, and if the LLM doesn't have the capacity or the ability to answer a particular question, then it can use this feature of tool calling to make use of a tool. For example, in this case we have two tools, a function that adds two numbers together and a function that multiplies two functions together. So if the LLM doesn't have the capacity to answer such a question, it can see whether it can find an available tool that will help it give a better response. So in this case, the LLM will reach out to one of these tools, in this case the add function, the add tool. It will call it will produce the arguments that are required in order to call this function and answer this question. In this case, the arguments are 40, the numbers 40 and 2. It will call this function, get back a response from this tool, and then come up with a response in natural language that contains the answer. So it gets the response, which is 42 from the function execution, and then it creates an output such as it's 42, or maybe sometimes it's even more elaborate. So that's the basic level, the tool calling. And I'm going to be using LangChain to create a very basic example. Now for this setup, I'm going to be using Ollama, and I'm going to be using a local offline LLM. So Ollama is also a tool that you can install on your system and download large number of open source large language models and run them locally on your machine offline. I also have a guide on how to install Ollama on your system, so make sure to check the notes in the description below to see and watch this video if you are not aware of Ollama. So instead of reaching out to something like ChatGPT, I'm going to be using my local Ollama server. You can see here in the top right, the Ollama icon is running, showing me that the Ollama server is running. So let me start with the first step. So in the next video, I will start with the basic setup of our app.